Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, are we allowed to say that these days with all these trans activists forcing their nasty opinions down our throats? I'd like to welcome you to the Alex Bloodfire stream this evening. Well, it is this evening in Britain. It may be a different time of the day where you are, but it's certainly evening in Britain today, and it's quite a warm evening again. It's not as hot as yesterday and the day before were just absolutely record temperatures, sweltering hot. Have I got the microwave and the microwave, the mic in the right place? Right. Well, today we're going to talk about an ideology that has manifested itself into everything, including women's sports, children's education, our governments, our health services, our universities, even our restaurants. Have you heard about gender neutral loos? Coming to a restaurant near you. Thank goodness for the fight back across the Western world, particularly on Turf Island, I might add. I'm on Turf Island. We are fighting. I asked the rest of the Western world, please stand up, fight. I talk about the Western world because I know the Western world, you know, is where this gender ideology is polluting everywhere. So please fight back everywhere. Okay. Before I go into the latest breaking news from across the world, from across the globe about this dangerous, perverted gender ideology that's polluting our world, I'm going to answer some questions. So somebody in America, okay, asked an actual woman, should I say, not a pretend one, asked, let me, hello, Amy. Evening, Amy. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. It really does help when you're on. So thank you. Thanks for joining me. I was just going to answer this question from it's a woman, an actual woman in America, an actual one, not a pretend one. And she asked the question. She said, "Why, Alex, did you join the fight against gender ideology?" And a big thank you that you did, and thank you for what you're doing. Well, there are many things that got me started, Miss America. Many things. I started speaking out probably about 2.5 years to 3 years ago, but I'd been concerned much longer than that. It started when a biologically born male who killed his wife and rightfully was sent to a prison, but then allegedly transitioned into a trans woman, okay, in brackets, and apparently really never made any effort at all, to be honest, to be a trans woman as it was. And then they transferred him at that time into a female prison where this biological male went on to sexually assault and I also believe raped a woman in the cell. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's what happened. And I watched in horror as people online spoke up for this creature. And they quoted him as being a frustrated woman. Nothing about the biologically born male had killed his wife, sexually assaulted women in the prison and raped another one. But they were assuring me that this was a frustrated woman, okay, now this was about 10 years ago and I nearly got kicked out of the group. This was on Facebook well over 10 years ago, and I was chatting because my opinion definitely differed from theirs. I don't know why they would have such an opinion about a creature like this horrible person. I was so confused. Why would anybody speak up for this creature? But there were many. There were one after the other, all speaking up about this frustrated woman, this creature, that this biological male that had killed his wife, sexually assaulted some people in prison, and gone on to rape somebody in prison. And I knew at that time that biologically born males, or saying that, you know, biologically born males are women, and getting exactly what these women, as it was, wanted, was going to come was going to become a serious problem, and it has. It's become a very, very serious problem, and it's one that many people across the Western world are fighting, from all walks of life, from all different groups. We're all fighting against this. It's become a problem in women's sports, women's spaces, LGB rights, women's rights, children's education. The list is endless. But something I never anticipated was actually the indoctrination, sorry for pronouncing that word wrong, of our school children, and the impersonation of gay and lesbian people. The extent that this trans lobby now is also affecting women's rights, and actually everybody's rights, is unbelievable. I didn't really anticipate that it would be as bad as this. I just thought that, we'd have a problem, but I never realized it would be this serious. So, what I've seen over the past few years has horrified me. This isn't doing anything for anybody's rights. LGB rights are going backwards. Women are losing their spaces, their sports, and their rights. So women are losing their spaces, sports, and rights. Our children's education is suffering through indoctrination of gender ideology and queer theory in their schools, online. And I'd really like to know what it's actually doing for trans people by destroying language. So we can't say women, we can't say mothers. I'd like to know what this is actually doing for trans people. And actually, I'm seeing more and more trans people speaking out against this trans lobby that's supposed to be speaking on behalf of them. I'm seeing more people lesbians, gay, bisexuals, trans, and all the rest of the alphabet soup are actually starting to speak out against Stonewall, who allegedly are supposed to support them. It's unbelievable, but it is happening, and we're seeing it's happening now. But I think more people need to speak up, more people, because saying a biologically born male is a woman is dangerous. It's damaging to our children, and it's a menace to our laws. Queer theory, gender ideology, and non-binary, it's all made up rubbish, but it's trying to change our government policy, our children's education, and our laws. There are activists that are trying to bring in this nonsense to change all this. And if we don't speak out, if this nonsense succeeds, we'll be living in a very dangerous place, a place where a warped ideology will become the norm, where we won't be allowed to speak out about it, and material reality will become a thing of the past. It's, people who are born male and female, which is everybody. People are born male and female. It's how it's always been, and it's how it's always will be for human beings. But again, there are a group of people out there that are trying to change all the truth. And really and truly, I know that people are born male and female. Most adults across the world, if not all adults, know that we're born male and female, and we can't change sexes. But the people who don't know this are a very vulnerable group called children, and they're going after our children. Gender ideology is in schools. They're being groomed online. And if you notice now, as like I've said many times, in my era, we didn't have this gender ideology nonsense, grooming us in schools or online. We didn't even have the internet. Actually, that's how old I am. But the point is now, all this is out, in schools, on the internet. And look at our children; they're all confused about the gender. This was never heard of. It was just never heard of in my day. It wasn't. It was never heard of when I went to school. I don't know anybody at school who was confused about the gender. There wasn't anybody. Nowadays you've got quite a lot of people, and it's very, very serious. And I'm also seeing a medical scandal happening right before my eyes, amputating healthy breasts from girls, castrating boys, encouraging children to start an unnecessary lifetime pathway on drugs. It's awful. And I really am watching it. I'm watching a medical scandal before my eyes. And what we're seeing, and we're starting to see the results of this negligence, this big medical scandal that's happening. Detransitioners are realizing that they've just made the biggest mistakes of their lives. And in many cases, what they've done is irreversible. And it's a big problem to them. It's a big problem to society. It's cruelty. It should never have been allowed to happen in the first place. So the surgeries that are happening are experimental and difficult because, as we know, we cannot change sexes. We're trying to change people's sex, and we cannot do it. It's impossible. You know, we're implementing plastic surgery on people, including children, without the medical profession thinking about what they're doing. And people are suffering the consequences of being made to believe that they can be operated on and change their sex. It's silly. And it's the big medical scandal happening before our eyes. So just to recap, why I joined the gender critical movement, why I'm speaking out, it's because of this stupidity that's damaging people. It's really damaging people. So that's why I spoke out. But I'm just going to do now a quick competition. Okay, so if you would like to win one of 3 paperback copies of, or win a paperback copy, 1 of 3, then all you need to do is DM me the answer to the following question to my Getter. My Getter account is in the information below, and all I want to know is, what is 007's name? The character created by British novelist Ian Fleming, and this character also appeared in over 26 swashbuckling movies. DM the name, the character's name, to my inbox, and you could be walking away with one of these books. You can enter from anywhere in the world. I will send it to anywhere in the world. Bearing in mind it's only in English, I've got 3 copies to give away. So just DM me the name of 007. That's all I want to know, on my Getter account only, to celebrate the DMs on Getter. I'm a big fan of Getter, and that's why I'm doing the competition on the DM. I will read, in case anybody hasn't read this. Oh, by the way, some brilliant things have happened. I've been doing a little bit on my website, and if you click on the Amazon link to the book, you can actually read the first 3 chapters on Amazon. So there's a link on my website. If you scroll down, and it's on the right hand side, you scroll down. Okay, so it's on the right hand side. You scroll down and you click on it. Okay, and you can read the first 3 chapters in case you wanted to buy it, because it's only a couple of quid for a Kindle, and if you win it, you know, if you want to enter the competition, so that's yeah, you know, if you want to have a read of it, read a little bit of a read of it first, you can do it. So go onto my official website, which is alexbloodfire.com. It is in the information below. But yeah, I've been twiddling a little bit on my website, so that. But I will read. I will read this out. I've been looking in the wrong direction. I've had the direction there, right? So, okay. So Brock Steele knows his name and very little else. After a vicious attack in mysterious circumstances, Brock's memory has abandoned him. He has no idea why he's been hounded by a mysterious man with a gun, or why bad things keep happening to the people he loves, and why a strange voice is talking to him from the walls of his flat. When he's forced to go on the run to save his life, he has to decide who to trust, and making a mistake could be fatal. Can Brock find out who he is, why he's been hunted, and stay alive in the bargain? Well, you can find out if you win or buy the book. Yeah, there you go. So that's Brock Steele's Fear by me, Alex Bloodfire. Thank you. I will just put that there. Okay, so right, let me move on. So let's move on. I hope it's not too dark as well, because when I set all the lighting up and everything for this, it was all right, but the weather has changed, and it's gone a little bit on the dark side, and I'm seeing everything the opposite way around. I see a tree should be that side, and it's that side, and I'm getting really confused. So right, okay. So a question 2. So somebody asked, okay, what do you think of LGBT activists within the archaeology, that's the archaeology, advocating against identifying skeletons as male or female? Well, firstly, when you say LGB activists, I think you mean in the alphabet soup activists, the new activists that are really trying to destroy everybody else's rights. But civilized people don't engage in this gender ideology silliness. So I think you'll find a lot of decent people are walking away from the LGBT alphabet soup movement, activist movement anyway. So, and people are walking away. But my answer is simple. They're attempting to hide the truth that humans are only male or female, and whatever you're born, okay, doesn't matter whether somebody comes along and digs you up in 2 million years, they'll know whether you're male or female or not. So they're trying to hide that fact that people are male or female. They've got, you know, it's like I've said previously, in my cells, it's all male cells everywhere. You know, same as females. I've got female cells everywhere. Nothing ever changes. So even in the bone, 2 million years later, archaeologists can come along, dig me up, and find out that I was a male, and nothing will ever change that. So that's what they're trying to hide. I think it's disgusting what they're doing, but unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. It's a very dangerous step forward. But you know, the simple truth is that males and females, you know, we never change what we are. We are male or female, what we're born, and stay like that forever. You know, even our bones, millions of years later, are still male or female, whichever one we was born. And it doesn't matter how much drugs you take, how much plastic surgery people take, how much they mutilated the body. Humans are, after all, male and female, and that stays with us from birth to permanently. I think it's silly what these activists are doing. I hope they don't succeed, but judging by what I'm seeing, they may succeed now, but I think in the future, people like them will be stopped. I think it's a pointless activity, and it's spoiling really our future archaeologists. It's ruining the next generation of people, and that's silly. It's very, very silly. So that's what I think to that. So the third question that I've pulled off is, who do you think will be the next government body to dump Stonewall and their controversial schemes? Truth is, I don't know. I think there are many people talking about it on boardroom level, but I think they all need to drop Stonewall together and quickly. They're not value for money, nor do they represent the people they claim to do. And the advice they're giving is, you know, not the advice which you know your company wants really. And what sort of organization purports to represent a group of people, LGBT, and then starts blocking members of this group on Twitter? Well, Stonewall, of course. So they all need to leave. I can't think of which one would be the next one to leave, but I think there definitely is going to be more to leave, so that's perfect. You know, get if any board director it just happens to come by these clips, you really need to leave Stonewall. You know, the LGBT, you know, more and more people are walking away from Stonewall. LGBT anti community, you know, people are walking away because they're disgusted with the way that they have behaved and the way that they are throwing lesbians under a bus, the way they're throwing gay men under a bus. You need to leave, and that goes for all organizations. Please drop Stonewall. Well, it's only been a couple of days since I was last streaming, but in that time, the gender critical news in the world appears fast, and there is quite a lot to get through this evening, but there is news. So I am able to continue. I don't know whether I'll get an hour out of today, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what we do. But look, if you come by this clip, please subscribe to the channel. You know, the more people that subscribe, you know, the better. You know, so please, you know, I'm seeing more and more subscribers, so please subscribe. You know, and let's get this channel off the ground. Let's get this channel big. Let's get this channel, you know, so that we can chat, we can have conversations. So please subscribe. So Amy says we're a long way from Stonewall's downfall. We are indeed. I mean, I don't know why people are hanging on to an organization like this. We are a long way, but you know, I'm prepared to fight it out. I hope you are. I hope everyone is. You know, everyone that's fighting, we'll get them down. We'll get them down. But we're a long way off, and that's simply because you know, board directors and all the people responsible for Stonewall membership are hanging on to Stonewall for reasons I will never know. Okay, that's my greens. It's a green mix, a drink. It's really nice. It's a bit bitty, so it makes me cough a little bit sometimes. But it's actually quite nice. It's quite a nice mix. But yeah, but hopefully one day we will see the downfall of Stonewall, and I have said that I will be buying the big bottle of champagne when Stonewall is finally brought to the ground. And I'm very, very confident that in the future, and it will be the distant future, Stonewall is finished. I'm very confident. Right, so yeah, again, please join in with the conversation if you're out there, and hit the subscribe, be alerted to my live stream. You know you want to. So okay, let me see if I can move on. So and if you didn't hear the answer to the question earlier on, the LGBT alphabet soup activists in the field of archaeology who are advocating against identifying skeletons as male and females. This gender ideology is dangerous. It's forcing people to pretend that, you know, skeletons are not male or female, for heaven's sake. I mean, you know, we all know that ancient skeletons dug up will test what they were born all those years ago, and that is just solely male or female. Why would we want to stop future archaeologists from doing their job? I think I mentioned that earlier. Why would we want to stop people from doing their job? Why would we want to stop people from telling the truth? It's dangerous. You know, it's appalling. This isn't the way that we should be carrying on, and this is because we've got trans activists are trying to stop, you know, reality. That they're trying to pretend that these skeletons are not male or female, but they are. And we all know that. And it's like I've said, many adults, if not all adults, know that they will find that they're male or female. The only vulnerable group that might not realize this are children. So they must be going after our children. You know, you know, it's so if you're not speaking out against gender ideology yet, perhaps you need to ask yourself why. If this gender nonsense isn't stopped, if this gender nonsense isn't stopped, okay, it will affect future generations, and you know, could help stop this silliness of what trans activists are trying to implement and force on our society. So please speak out and support the people who are speaking out. Moving on, as I mentioned last stream, biologically born male Will Thomas, now known as Leah Thomas, after he has allegedly become a woman. I mean, I don't know how that's possible, but he has. And this Leah Thomas is now being nominated by Pennsylvania is for the NCAA Woman of the Year. I mean, its impact on women is huge. Its impact on society is huge. I mean, are people not concerned of what the children are thinking about this as well? I mean, this is, you know, we shouldn't be allowing, okay, a biologically born male to win a prize destined for actual women. This is not right. It's false. It's wrong. It needs to be stopped. This will have a huge impact. It will have a huge impact and a threat on women's sports. Please, if you're out there, speak out. Don't let a biologically born male win this prize. Its impact is going to be huge for the future if we don't stop this. I do understand that because of the way things are, I understand that. Oh, I did understand that Leah Thomas wouldn't be able to compete now because they've gone up or lowered the testosterone. I don't know. I thought that was what they was doing. So why he's been nominated for a woman? You know, a woman of the year. I really don't know, but it is insulting because we all know that biologically born Will Thomas, now known as Leah Thomas, is not a woman, has never been a woman, never will be a woman, and shouldn't be honoured as one. It is insulting and damaging to women. We need to stop it. Right. Moving on, another one that's again on the gender ideology. In fact, it is gender ideology, but it's slightly different. It made my stomach churn actually. So Marius Gustafsson, who was arrested for performing dozens of fetishistic castrations out of his North London home, was actually a queer activist, whatever a queer activist is, in a leading gender diversity organization. So these are the people that are in the, you know, these are the people that have elected themselves to speak on behalf of groups of people, and look what they're doing. It'd been revealed as a Norwegian activist. Gustafsson was chairman of the board for Buskerud chapter of Trans Activist Lobbying Group, the Norwegian Organization for Sexual and Gender Diversity. This organization is now known as FRI for some reason, and from 2001 to 2007, during this time, the FRI, as it's now known, went under the name of the National Association for Lesbian and Gay Liberation, or LLH, which is ironic because it misses the TQ off, etc. It misses all the TQ. So, you know, that was the old rights. But it's very, I'm very sad really to hear that a person like this was chairman of that organisation. And in 2018, and he wasn't there at that time, but in 2008, this is the FRA that successfully lobbied the World Health Organization to officially depathologize, these words are getting bigger, fetishes. So let me start again there. Okay, and then I'll read it properly. So in 2018, the FRA, as it's now known, successfully lobbied the World Health Organization to officially depathologize fetishism, sadomasochism, and fetishistic, I can't pronounce that word, transvestitism, by removing them from the 11th revision of the International Classifications of Diseases and Related Health Problems, and the reference code there is ICD-11 if anybody needed it. It's quite worrying that, you know, this is what these organizations are doing. I mean, you know, really, you know, these are the people behind it, you know, that are taking safeguarding away. I mean, I would say that's exactly what they're doing there. It's, you know, these are the people that are doing it. So I'm going to give you just another reminder. If you want to win one of 3 copies of my paperback book, Brock Steel Sphere, all you need to do is answer the following question. What is 007's character's name? He's appeared in over 26 swashbuckling movies. Okay, and all you need to do is DM me that name to get her. Only DM me the name if you win. If I, on the 31st of this month at midnight, after midnight, should I say, I will put everybody's name in a hat, pull 3 winners out, and whoever the winners are, then I will notify you who you are. So you only need to let me know who that character's name is. I nearly said his name then because I know I was a big fan. So I better shut up before I say the name. Right. So the overwhelming majority of the British favour single-sex toilets, single-sex changing rooms, and single-sex spaces, according to a recent survey. To be honest, everybody I talk to out there is horrified about women's spaces and even men's spaces that are being ruined and pulled down in favour of gender neutral toilets. So I'm not surprised about that survey, to be honest. I don't think the majority, well, according to that survey, the majority of Brits do not want gender neutral spaces and toilets and changing rooms and everything else. They want male and female. They want to go, you know, that's how it's always been. I mean, why do we need to change something or try to fix something that isn't broken? Everybody I talk to is like, no, we want our female toilets. We want our male toilets. We don't want neutral toilets. A lot of school kids are on about it as well. You know, the girls don't want boys in their toilets. So, you know, the truth is going gender neutral is not actually inclusive, but rather very exclusive. So who is pushing this crap? The Brits don't want it. Our school kids don't want it. Nobody wants it. You know, like I've said, girls at school don't want boys in their toilets. That makes sense. Of course, girls don't want boys in their toilets. Women don't want predatory males of any type in their toilets. Women don't want males in their toilets, full stop. It makes sense. So why is this being pushed? It's been pushed by a group of trans activists that are trying to force nonsense on our society, you know. So please do speak out about it. Please support the people that are speaking out about it and complain to the government. If we ignore this gender ideology, it will carry on being pushed and pushed and pushed. I'm going to have a drink of my greens again. This is one way of getting your greens. I haven't had any greens today. I mean, I've had hardly anything to eat because I am on a diet. I've got a conference to attend in October, and all my suits don't fit me because of COVID. I've just, you know, spent a lot of time at home, and I've eaten, and I've really big now, and none of my suits. I am losing it, and I am getting thinner. Do you know what I mean? But none of my suits fit me, so I'm slimming down just solely to get into suits again, and it'd be good actually because I don't really feel very healthy, being you know, the weight I am, and I don't think actually didn't think that I was that much overweight, but according to the clothes I am, so I'm gonna have to do something about it. So I have gone on certain powders, like I'm on Slim Fast. I shouldn't really say it, but I'm on Slim Fast, and I'm actually quite addicted to it. I really do like the taste of Slim Fast uh, stuff, and it really does. You know, I have it for breakfast sometimes, and an evening meal, and it really does stop me feeling hungry. But yeah, I mean, I'll be on that for a while, and I think it's working. So thank you, Slim Fast. Okay, right. So moving on, a big question that has come up, I think I mentioned it in the last stream. Why did the ACLU, the push for gender self-ID in prisons, did they not consider the damage, what this would do? The damage that's now playing out, we've seen the damage now. I mean, and the actions that's been taken after. I mean, even this is one. This is one. Excuse me, I do apologise. That's that green. That yeah. So the damage that's playing out now is we've got a male that's impregnated two women and been moved back, rightfully moved back into a male prison where he belongs. This is a damage that this crap is really doing to our system. And you've got the ACLU, which is really, really pushing all this rubbish. You know, they're fighting. I mean, the government, or a lot of not Biden's government actually, but in fact, I'll go into him in a minute. But you've got a lot of states that are pushing safeguarding laws to protect children, to protect women, to protect this. And you've got the ACLU who are trying to fight them all. You know, they're really not a nice group, and I think that they're not working in the interests of the American people anymore. And I think that I'm seeing that a lot of people are saying that, but this is not a nice group anymore. You know, they're going against the interests of the majority of the population for an extreme minority of the population that probably it isn't really going to work for them, because I'm noticing that I'm not really sure they are speaking out for LGBT people, but the LGBT people's rights are going backwards, and so will trans. I'm pretty confident. That's it. But pensioner Biden's transgender assistant, Secretary of Health, Dr. Levine, says we need to empower children to go on puberty blockers. Oh, no way. I mean, the first question is: did Levine ever go on puberty blockers? I don't actually think so. Why is Levine, Dr. Levine, saying that we should be empowering children to go on puberty blockers? From the damage that I'm seeing to the children caused by puberty blockers, I would recommend that no parent affirms their child in any way by putting them on puberty blockers. Puberty blockers have got side effects, and it's very, very well noted. You do not put your children on puberty blockers. That is my simple advice. Listen to Uncle Alex here, okay? If you're thinking about affirming your child, don't put them on puberty blockers. Listen to me, trust me, trust me, okay? Because we've seen the damage that these are doing. It is the first step to a lifetime medical pathway, and that medical pathway starts with puberty blockers, then irreversible hormone medication, then we have breast amputations, we have castrations for our little boys, and all of these have side effects. Children never needed any of this before. Why suddenly do children need an anti-cancer drug? Because puberty blockers used to be a cancer drug. It's a cancer drug. And they found out that it slows puberty. I mean, actually, it amazes me that this was a prostate cancer drug, and now it's been relabeled as puberty blockers because it does some of damaging puberty. That's what it's doing. We don't need to stop puberty in anybody. Let children be children. I mean, why are we giving children drugs? Why are we amputating children's breasts? Why are we castrating children? Because they are doing that in America. Why are we giving children drugs in the United Kingdom? Why? They never needed this before. In all the generations of children, we've never needed this to give our children drugs. What I'm suggesting is what we've been doing all along, is just let them grow up and decide their own future. If they want to go, when they get older and they want the operation to have the breast amputated or be castrated, that is their decision. But we shouldn't be doing this to children, because many serious mistakes have been made with lifelong consequences. Don't let your child be one of them. Many detransitioners, we're seeing them on Twitter, we're seeing them on all platforms now. They're all coming out and saying, I made a mistake. And don't think the medical profession there are actually in support. They're trying to get people on a medical pathway as quick as possible. You speak to the detransitioners, they'll say exactly what I've said there, that, that they're not looking, to talk to the kids or anything. They just want to get them on medication, and that's it. They want rid of them. They want to do this quick, and this is an industrial scale medical experiment on our children, and it will have far reaching consequences, so don't cheerlead the sterilization of children, because this is what it does to appease a profiting medical industry. Sorry, don't do that. It's it really is not the way forward. But don't affirm your child, because your child might not realize that it's in the fashion at the moment to be trans, to be queer, whatever that means, to be non-binary, which has just been made up. It's in the fashion. When that fashion goes, we've got a lot of kids that can be in a lot of trouble, and these kids are coming out now saying, I made a mistake in later life. So some as young as some straight away, some couple of years after, but this is now happening. So don't affirm your child. It's as simple, because you regret it, and your child will regret it later on. If they want to affirm themselves, let them do it as an adult. We shouldn't be interfering with children. It's terrible. And I've just noticed that we've got the American Academy of Pediatrics, which has been accused of trying to suppress discussion of a request to rethink their gender dysphoria care. They're not bothered. The medical profession, from what I'm seeing, are just not bothered. They want to affirm kids as quick as possible. Get them on them puberty blockers, get them on the hormones, then let's rip the breasts off, rip the testicles off. That's exactly what that's what I'm seeing. Are you not seeing that too? Because I'm certainly am. That's exactly what I'm seeing. They don't care. They're not bothered about your kids. They're bothered about profit. And that's it, And I'd really like to know why these medical bodies, like the American Academy of Pediatrics, but many others, why these medical bodies are obsessed with gender ideology. It's very worrying. Okay, moving on. Another one, the Merriam-Webster dictionary redefines female as a gender identity. I mean, this happened quite a while ago, but it's resurfaced in the current news. I wanted to bring it on because, as we all know, female is a sex class. It's not a gender identity. So whatever a gender identity is, but why are we misleading everybody? Why are we now saying it's not a sex class, it's a gender identity? I mean, as a writer, and I'm a writer, I've got to look at these dictionaries, and this dictionary is coming out with shit. The Merriam-Webster dictionary is coming out with shit. So why would I want to? It's not one. I mean, I'll stick with Collins, thank you, until they change it. Why come out with crap? It's and who are the people? I mean, I know that female's not a gender identity. I mean, I've never heard such ridiculousness in all my life. Since when has female been a gender identity? Never. I know that as an adult, but who are the people that don't know this or may get confused over this? Well, it's children. So who are these people going after? I know it's not a gender identity. Most adults that know out there that female's not a gender identity. So who are they going after? Well, it's got to be children. So I'd like to know why they're going after children, and teaching children crap. Where's the proof that female is a gender identity? It's not. It's as simple as that. Okay, moving on. Okay, the LGB Alliance are being forced to raise nearly £250,000 to retain their charity status. Their charity status is being challenged by mermaids and their ilk. LGB Alliance, though, has already managed to raise a staggering 90,000 UK pounds. So thank you to all the donors out there. Thank you to LGB Alliance for keeping that charity alive. I've actually popped the crowdfunder down below. If you can donate, if you're in a position to donate, that'd be appreciated. But more importantly, share that crowdfunder, so that other people can see what's going on and they can possibly donate. I mean, it's very important to get that crowdfunder shared. I've shared it across a lot of my networks, and I will continue to share. Please do not allow a ghastly organisation like Mermaids to win. They can't win. It's like I've said all along. It's very, very unlikely that mermaids will win. Okay, but it's got to be fought. I'm really confused why mermaids think that they can take a case against LGB Alliance. I don't think they can, and the Charities Commission don't think they can either. But they've decided that they can, and all they're doing is pushing money for legal issues in order to cost the LGB Alliance money. But I'm very glad the LGB Alliance has raised a staggering 90,000. It's over 90,000 now. Really pleased that so many people out there have given so much money. So thank you, thank you to all those people. And as always, I stand with LGB Alliance. And again, I thank them for all the important work that they're doing. The crowdfunder is in the link. It's there for you to donate, and as I say, more importantly, share if you want to. Okay, I'm gonna have another drink of it. I'm so hot, actually. It's really stuffy here, so I'm really, really hot. But I just hope it's not looking too dark, because it's actually really dark here now. And when I did the light, it wasn't like this, so it looks a little bit dark on the screen. I'm sure it's not too dark, but anyway. Right, so I've managed to play around with my YouTube channel as well. So all upcoming live streams are now showing on the channel. So if you hit my channel, you'll be able to see all the live streams for the rest of the month. There's only about 3 left. But what I tend to do is put the live streams up in bulk, and you'll be able to see them, which is really good. So I'm really happy that I've been able to do that, because I'm not very experienced on YouTube, so I don't know how to do it. But this is really good news. If anybody's got any other suggestions about how I can improve user experience on my channel for subscribers, potential subscribers, and people, please let me know in the comments, or get to me. You can get to me at Alex Bloodfire on Getter, or you can tweet me at Alex Bloodfire. Let me know. But I'm so happy now that I can schedule. Well, let me start again. But I'm so happy now. All my scheduled upcoming live streams are now showing, and they show right up at the top. So you go on the channel, you can see them all. So that's brilliant. So as I say, there's 3 left to the end of the month. At the end of the month, I will get some more up there for the next month. I'll only probably do half the month, but I have got some interesting scenery, let's say, coming up. So yeah, it's well worth noting. Yeah, so there we go. Okay, carry on with this. So we've got more news. So a Long Island middle school has quite rightfully come under fire for failing to tell parents about a question on their student survey. The question asks about sexual orientation and whether the student identifies as transgender or non-binary rubbish. I'm interested to know why the school require any of this information. What are they doing this for? What are they doing with that information? Why does school want to know? Why do schools, Long Island school, but I know this is going off in other schools. Why does a school want to know if you're gay? Why does the school want to know if you're lesbian? Why does the school want to know if you're transgender, bisexual, non-gender conforming? Why does the school want to? You see, in my school, they didn't ask that question. It's very odd why they want to know this. Is it because they want to push them onto a, into a pathway of medical intervention? Why do schools want to know this rubbish? It's got nothing to do with the schools. Why are teachers, participating in this rubbish. I mean, what business has it got at schools? Why are schools sticking their nose in people's business, like in pupils' business like this? You know, because what I'm seeing, and I'm watching this myself, I'm seeing that schools are not allegedly, they are actually affirming pupils behind parents' back. Why do they think this is right? Again, why are teachers participating in this awful behaviour? Why are heads of schools implementing this into their schools? Why? You know, why does the headmaster want to know which pupils are gay and which pupils, you know, come across as non-binary, whatever that is? Why? Well, non-binary is made up. You know, so if people identify as that, and they can only identify because they can't be non-binary, they can only identify because everybody's male and female. Why do the teachers need to know this rubbish? It's very concerning. I wouldn't bank on Pensioner Biden intervening though, but in fact, from what I'm seeing from this world's most dangerous trans activist, he's probably behind it. You know, he's probably behind this in American schools anyway. You know, it's disgraceful. Yeah, so if anybody knows in the comments why are teachers participating in this nonsense, I'd really like to know. It's really gone dark here now. I mean, I know there's an automatic light on this camera that elsewhere it's so dark. It's just literally pitch black. So if you can't see me, if it's so dark, I do apologize. But I mean, I think it should be all right. I think it'll be. All right, okay. So in British politics, let's go on to the British politics now. Penny Mordaunt has been knocked out of the leadership contest. I think whatever the reason why Penny has been voted out, perhaps this could be a lesson to everybody supporting an aggressive trans lobby. You know, I don't think Penny handled that very well. I mean, firstly, we had the proof of what she did, and then she decided to deny things. I mean, I'm not really sure that I appreciated what Penny did in the first place, but I can appreciate there are other conservative political people within the party that are also doing what she did. But you know, then to deny it all, I think she made a bit of a mess of that. But you know, maybe this can be a lesson to people that look, if you're going to support a lobby that wants to change our language to appease an LGBT alphabet soup, a lobby group which is hell-bent on destroying women's sports, because it really is. I mean, you know, women's sports as we know it could end. You know, there's a lot of people fighting, but they might not win. You know, women's sports as we know it may be destroyed in favor of biological men who say, oh, I'm a woman and that's it, you know, and take over the sport. A lobby that's destroying women's rights, a lobby that's destroying LGB rights, a lobby that's really blurring, and we're now seeing that. We're seeing they're blurring what male and female is. Maybe, you know, if you're in a position of power and you stick with a trans lobby, maybe you need to see what you're doing, because we've seen this more and more. I think this has backfired in Penny's face, really. And I don't hate Penny. I mean, I actually, you know, feel for her a little bit, really, because this has really affected her getting to be prime minister, and she's been knocked out. And I think the reason is because of the way she's gone off in the trans debate, because you know the way that she received the award from Pink News, you know, for supporting a lobby that is trying to destroy everyone else's rights. Think about what you're doing, because this lobby group is dangerous. I've said it from the start, and it shouldn't be getting the support it is from our government. You know, it's Stonewall particularly should be removed out of all the government departments as soon as possible. I know we're fighting, you know, there's a lot of fighting, but we really do need to get Stonewall out of our government departments. They're not doing the British people any good. They're not doing British society any good. We really need to get them. We need Stonewall's downfall. It will happen. I'm confident, because too many people, you know, allegedly even the people that they purport to represent are walking away from them. This shows how embarrassing this organisation is. Yet, you know, you still got directors on board levels and people responsible for the upkeep of the membership of Stonewall are not pulling out. You people need to pull out. Listen to Uncle Alex. Pull out of Stonewall, please. Right, well, moving on. This leaves, in the leadership contest, it leaves Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, and they're going to battle head to head to win the leadership role. of the Conservatives and become our next Prime Minister. Who do you think it's going to be? Please let me know who you would vote for, because I am a Conservative member and I do get a final vote. So can you sway me? You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments who you would vote for. Okay. So either Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak, like I say, is set to become the next Conservative Party leader and Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Yeah, that's brilliant. Lots going off in politics. I won't bore you with the politics, you know what I mean, because we're nearly at the end, so I won't bore you with the politics. But it's been an interesting debate, and now we've got Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak as the last two. I was a bit surprised, that they were the last two, because everybody had put the money on Penny, but I think Penny blew it, to be honest, by supporting a trans lobby in the past that perhaps it would have been different. I'd be interested to know why she actually changed her mind, though. Why? I'm still interested, but anyway, yeah, there we go. But yeah, never mind. And lastly, the International Quidditch Association. Yeah, there really is one out there that exists. They've renamed Quidditch sport to quadball sport. So they've renamed Quidditch, should I say, to quadball. I think I know the real reason behind that. They're saying it's they want to distance themselves from J.K. Rowling, but I don't think it is. I think it's more like they don't want to be sued by J.K. Rowling, because I don't think J.K. Rowling actually ever gave this association any permission to do this, and they have been quite mean to her. I think they have called her out a little bit for no reason, because J.K. Rowling is a star. She's a gem of the United Kingdom. She's a fantastic woman, and I don't know why they think they can call her out and say anything about her, because she's brilliant. Brilliant woman. But anyway, they've changed it. I'm pretty sure it is to do with the money, not to do with the money to be sued. I think it's J.K. Rowling could sue them, and that's it. I don't think she'd want to bother, but they could. So I think that's the reason. That's the real reason. It's nothing about the fact that J.K. Rowling is allegedly transphobic, because we all know she's not. So I think it's about the money. Right. Okay. So we're nearly coming to the end now. So please, if you're watching this clip, because I know I'm getting a few people watch it after it goes live, please subscribe to my channel, and then you can actually get the alerts for when I do go out live. You can see it on my YouTube channel now. So I've been fiddling around with my YouTube channel. There's a lot more on the YouTube channel. You can see all the live up streams, the up and coming stream, should I say, upcoming streams. Yeah, brilliant. So I think that's absolutely brilliant. One last mention of my book. If you read, and you're interested in a book, all you have to do is give me a DM of the following question: what is 007's name? What's his character name? It's what's his character name? Just DM me on Get It Only, and you got a chance of winning one of 3 books of Brock Steel Sphere. Could be yours. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can enter from anywhere in the world. I'll deliver anywhere in the world. So I'm just going to read it. So she changed her mind because she wanted to get into a position to change things. Yeah. They were leaked documents where she said she publicly can't be seen to support it, but secretly she can. Basically, she was supported for PM by a number of other self-ID conservatives. Yeah. It'd be interesting. She could have just not spoke about it, though. That was the thing. Is she could have just pretended that it wasn't an issue and never said a word. But I think she did. I think she was. Yeah. I mean, it's it's interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting why Penny came out with what she did for leadership. I mean, did she really think? Maybe it's because she thought that people like me, conservative people, would not vote for it if she was supporting a trans lobby that is out to wreck everyone else's rights, women's sports, indoctrinate our children. It really is. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Right. Well, I have run out of things to say. So I'll just read this last comment from Amy. She knew this wouldn't be used against her. Mm, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, you know, maybe. Right. So, well, that's it. I've run out of things to say, so I'm going to end the live stream. Please, just if you want to enter my competition, DM me what is 007's name and DM me on the Getter platform. My Getter is down below, so please do that. And thanks for joining me, Amy. Thanks, and have a good weekend, and hopefully see you on Saturday. Bye.